whole time.
All right, everybody. This is Performers on Performing. I'm your guest host today, Fred Scibelli. I'm joined by a very special guest. Super happy to have him. These are my favorite shows when I have no idea who's coming in. Barely have met this person, but I already am getting awesome vibes. Please welcome your guest, Charlie Diamond.
What's going on?
Charlie, we just met. I heard you warming up, tuning, dude. I love what I'm hearing. You're the man. So usually on Performers on Performing, we do a little bit of mixture of interview and playing. So before we were going to have you start off with the song, but before you start out, I just wanted to get a little bit to know about you and hear a little bit about your story and where you're from. Could you maybe tell us, where you're from?
Yeah. I grew up on a little mountain on the borderline between Connecticut and Mass, and I spent a lot of time playing out in the woods by myself. Because there's a little part of the Appalachian Trail called the Metacomet Ridge. That's kind of where my imagination started running wild in my life. And then I kind of picked up guitar at a pretty young age. My dad taught me. And then a little later on, I got into punk rock. My background's pretty much punk rock.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I've only been playing like folk for like 2.5 years.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So music runs in the family. That's awesome that you're able to share that experience with your dad.
Yeah, it's really cool. It
dope.
definitely runs in the family, all through the bloodline.
My dad must have been a wise ass. I think that was the only thing I picked up from him. But you know how it is.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome, man. And that's so interesting that you that's where you found yourself in that environment, being out in the woods and sort of, I think, doing what most kids want to do in life, explore and get around. And that's such an awesome environment to do it in, to just kind of be out in nature and just probably seeing some wild stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I always had big dreams, and that helped sort of cultivate those and keep the imagination sharp. Yeah. Do
you still go out in the woods a lot? Hiking?
Yeah, I do. I love hiking. There's a farm near my house that I walk around with my dog all the time. I have a 170-pound English Mastiff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's my manager, my roadie, and my security.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet he's a sweetheart. Old English Mastiff. They got big heads, man.
Oh, yeah. Huge. Yeah.
How's the drool? Does he ever, drool in your guitar, and then you get to go play it, and you're like, oh, my God, I got to clean this thing?
Funnily enough, you bring that. I was just at the studio the other day, and I was taking out my guitar, and there was I was looking at the guitar case. I'm like, what is all this crap on there? And I was like, oh, freaking dog drool all over it, and it was dried up drool. Yeah.
That's the worst. I have 2 dogs, and I always try to be fancy with my notebooks. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna get a Moleskine. I got a coupon at Staples. Let me step it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know how, but my dogs always find it and just chew on it and destroy it. It's something about the Moleskine. So now if I go cheap cardboard, they don't care as much. But, oh man, dogs.
The drool is with him is out of control, but the love outweighs the drool. You know, it's worth it. I tell myself.
Yeah. And what was his name?
His name's Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Is Jupiter the one that's still a planet? Am I thinking of?
Yeah, Jupiter's a planet.
Pluto was the one that got kicked out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jupiter's cool, guys. Jupiter, we'll cut that out. I knew that all along. It is a planet. Awesome. Charlie, would you mind kicking us off with a song?
Yeah. This song's called A Change Is Coming. And during COVID, when there wasn't a lot to do, I just kind of started driving around with the dog in my pickup, exploring. And so it's kind of what was going on in the world and what was going on with me personally. Wrote it a couple of years ago, but it's funny because I feel like it's kind of prevalent today as well.
Cool.
lost line, hidden roads inside my electromagnetic mind. Raining down poetic verses of angelic creative kinds. A self-proclaimed philosopher of books who's leather bound. A pentatonic destiny, and then I drank it down. And you who sit as the actors play unfolds, safe in your house, safe from the cold, but faded ink on a parchment that's sold. In with the new and out with the old. For liberty I took a chance, I fell into a line. For 10 years a war did rage deep inside my mind. I stood my ground, I held the trench amidst the battle sea. I screamed at night into the dark for principles to be available for purchase from sea to shining sea. And you who sit as the actors play unfolds, safe in your house, safe from the cold, but faded ink on a parchment that's old. In with the new and out with the old. I studied and I noted the institution's plan of cookie-cutter robots shot across the land. A dark machine of conformity for society's annual ball. I left the party late at night to avoid my pending fall. And you who sit as the actors play unfolds, safe in your house, safe from the cold, but faded ink on a parchment that's old. In with the new and out with the old. From mountaintops and farming towns, people I did meet in cafes and lecture halls, even on the street. A magic sort of whisper grew within our open minds. Reality and perception can change, yeah, over time. And you who sit as the actors play unfold, safe in your house, safe from the cold, but faded ink on a parchment that's old. In with the new and out with the old. And so the single voice of many was echoed in the halls. Equality of dreams, yes, for one and for all. The puppets on the hill with their ever-dying minds. They missed the ship, they lost the ticket for the ever-changing times. And you who sit as the actors play unfolds, safe in your house, safe from the cold, but faded ink on a parchment that's old. In with the new and out with the old. Well, I fondly reminisce the daydreams I've lived. I take the stage, I sing my songs to remind you all of this. A change is coming, a movement's starting, don't be one to stall. The phone is ringing loudly now, just pick up the call. And you who sit as the actors play unfolds, safe in your house, safe from the cold, but faded ink on a parchment that's old. In with the new and out with the old. In with the new and out with the old.
Yeah. Dude, that was dope.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
That was awesome, man.
Thank you.
You know, I don't want to like be weird because I'm like that guy that also like reads into songs and like I'm always like trying to figure out what it means. Like,
Yeah, right on.
that was awesome. Could you maybe talk to me a little bit? Like, I don't know. This is just what I like picked out from the song. This is like my my weird thing. I always
this
do.
is interesting. I like this. I like this.
to me, that song seemed like it was about, I got like three things from it, really. Questions, changes, and taking chances. And I know you said you wrote it like during COVID. I don't know how much of that like influenced the song or whatever, but I don't know. It just seemed like that song was like a journey. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was dope, man. That was awesome. Can you tell us a little bit maybe about like your process of writing it, or like what was sort of like in your life at the time when you wrote it?
Yeah, so I had just moved back from Virginia and kind of like lost touch and was out of the circles with all my friends. So I was kind of like by myself and my family. I'd moved home to be with my friends and family, and coming home wasn't quite what I thought it would be. You know, a lot of my family had like dispersed out, and then COVID sort of exacerbated that, and I kind of went into like a pretty gnarly like depression. So I'm driving around exploring with my dog, and the song is kind of about me thinking about you know, how I thought it was going to be when I came home, current events with like COVID, everything's kind of changing around me. It's also about me driving around New England and like meeting people and hearing their stories, and just kind of like how everything around me was changing and how I was like upset about it, and I wanted to like express it a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, wow. When you write a song like that, or maybe any song, you know, I don't know, I'm not a musician, but like, do you have a sort of like consistent process, or like the same, so maybe like a ritual to writing a song, I guess I would put it, like where you start with writing lyrics and then you start strumming it out, or, you know, what is that like for you?
Yeah, majority of the time, I'll sit down and I'll write the music and the lyrics at the same time. And a lot of times I'll write these in like 10, 15 minutes. So like I said, I have like a really active imagination, and like I love meeting people, I love seeing new places, so I'm always exploring. And those people and those places, little adventures I have, they all sort of swirl around in my head like throughout the day or the week. And I'll remember like phrases will stick with me, or like scenes, like cinematic scenes will stick with me. And then it's like a stew, it's all swirling around. And then late at night at like between like midnight and 2 a.m., like I'll sit down. I like to write late at night when it's dark and like the stars are out, because I feel like, you know, you're closer to your dreams, and I feel like more creative. And then it just, I tell you, a lot of times it just like flows out of me. It just comes out. I can't sit down with the intention of writing a song. If you told me, hey, could you write me a song about this or that, I couldn't do it.
No.
I just gotta wait until it pops out.
Yeah. I can dig that. I feel very similar. Like, I usually, if I'm doing any kind of joke writing, I have to do it at night. If I try to make myself do it in the morning, I can't do it. I don't know what it is. I always think I'm going to do that. I'm like, oh, nice. I grabbed like a cup of coffee. I like, same thing. Maybe I like took the dogs out, or, you know, something like that. And then I'm like, no, I can't do it. It's always like when I should be going to sleep is actually when I probably do it. Wow. That's so cool, man. When you mentioned that your dad sort of taught you how to play guitar. How long have you been playing for? Or was guitar the first instrument you learned music on?
Yeah. My dad had this really cool like 1960s electric guitar he had from when he was little. So I think my great grandpa was like the conductor of a little orchestra. You know, so like my dad's parents played in it, and they played music. He took lessons. He played music. And so I was always fooling around on it when I was little, but I didn't know what I was doing. It just looked cool, and then he taught me a couple chords here and there, and it just kind of picked up from there. I would play along to songs that I liked and tried to like figure them out as I went. I can't read music, you know. I can just play it.
Oh, wow. Have you ever felt like pressure to have to learn how to read it?
Not at all. Honestly, like, this may sound like stuck up or something, but I feel like art, you just have to do it. Like, if you want to play an instrument, sit down with it, fool around with it, and play with it. I've been playing guitar for like a long time now, so it comes out smooth. But photography or painting, comedy, I feel like you just have to take the risk, get out there and do it.
Yeah.
Forget going to any class, you know. Like, if it's in you, it's in you. You know, that's how I feel about it. Like, yeah. So I would never want to take lessons, or I would never want to learn how to read music, which is messed up because when I go to the studio, guy I work with, he's like, oh yeah, you know, it's just this chord progression and this and that. I'm like, dude, I have no clue what you're talking about.
I don't know what that is.
I just play it like that. Like, yeah.
I was gonna say, like, with your grandfather being in an orchestra, I would think that, like, he'd be like, you're learning music, like how to read music, but
I know
that's cool.
I know, yeah. That's kind of how I am with all of life.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like you just got to get into it. There's been so many times where I haven't taken the risk, I haven't made the move, or I've let something or slow me down, and I've just never, you know, gotten to the point to where I wanted to in life, or I never achieved that goal, or I never went out and, you know, played that show or whatnot. So the best thing you can do is just throw yourself into it and go at it.
Yeah. That's like the worst feeling. And like, I've had those moments too, for sure, like plenty of them. And there's nothing worse than that haunt sometimes, like whether it's the end of the night or, you know, wherever you are in life, and you do think about that kind of stuff and you're like, ugh. I feel like the only remedy to that is if there is sort of a regret in that area, if you go and do something else in that wheelhouse and like prove that you could do it. Like if I maybe was like too scared to tell a kind of joke, or didn't go up somewhere, or like with comedy starting later than I wanted. Like I had wanted to do it for however long, a long time before I actually did it. So it's like that haunt is always there. It's like, oh, you're not doing it. And then you finally do it and you're like, okay, I feel a little bit of redemption with that, you know?
Yeah.
So when you were traveling around, were you going like just on East Coast traveling? Did you travel across anywhere else?
So a while back in my life, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and my punk rock band that I was in broke up, and then like I broke up with my girlfriend, and there was just all this stuff going on, and I was like, you know what? I was just working at like just a little retail store, so I was like, I'm just gonna leave. So all within a space of a week, like I quit my job, I bought a motorcycle, and then I just drove across the country. Like I brought a tent, I camped out, I stayed with people that I met, just trying to figure out what I want to do in my life. That was the best decision I ever did in my life. Yeah.
Dude, that's the best thing that's like the coolest thing you could ever tell somebody, you know, in your life too.
Yeah.
What were you riding? I also ride a motorcycle.
Nice.
I have a Fat Bob, but I feel like I would never want to try to take that.
Yo, I did it on a Sportster.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. I had
that's gotta be worse than a Fat Bob, dude.
Yeah. It was bad. I wouldn't do more than like 4 hours of riding a day. Yeah, but I was out for like months and months and months on end. Yeah. And I had no place to be, no timeline. Or, you know, until like my money ran out.
Yeah.
But I was, I don't know, I was eating like a granola bar for breakfast, sleeping in my tent. So it's like, you're not spending that much money.
Yeah. Did you have like a sissy bar on it?
No.
Or any bags?
I had like a little backrest, and I put like a old rucksack back there.
Yeah.
And then I had 2 saddlebags.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had my clothes, and then behind me I had like my tent and whatever little supplies. I had like an atlas.
Yeah.
I would just like wake up in the morning and be like, all right, I'm gonna go here, and then I would just go.
That's awesome. You know, I always thought like a trip like that would be cool. You could plan it around, and I could be getting sued for saying this, but I feel like if you plan it around, if you get like a Planet Fitness membership, I think it's like $20 a month. They're everywhere.
Oh yeah.
You can go to anyone in the country, like if you want to shower, like just stretch your legs out, like do some curls or whatever. Like you should travel around to just different Planet Fitnesses. I bet that would be a cool motorcycle trip.
That would be sick. Yo, there's tricks to living on the road, like surviving on the street.
Yeah.
Like all the national.
You got some tricks up your sleeve. You learned some tricks on the road.
All the national parks, you can camp there for like $10.
Yeah.
But also the key is that like there's no rangers there. Nobody watches them. So it's like the honor system. You put like $10 in this envelope and you put it in this this locked thing. So like, all right, I'm just not gonna pay. I'm gonna camp. I'll take my chances. Yeah.
Yeah. Was the sports? Did you get like a somewhat new Sportster? Was it? Were you ever in fear of it breaking down on you?
No, not at all.
Okay, cool.
Not at all. I almost died twice. Once in Texas, the wind was so strong. I was basically driving like this to go straight. I was like leaning into the wind, and there was like a twister off in the distance that I had to like get ahead of. You know, it wasn't like a full-on tornado or anything, but. And then California was pretty crazy. Like people just drive crazy there.
Yeah.
So yeah, someone almost took me out there. Yeah, but I almost died twice. Fell in love 3 times. And then, yeah, a lot of stuff happened on that trip.
So you went from Hartford to California?
Yeah, well, I went from Connecticut, and I'm a big history buff, like Civil Wars and stuff like that. So I basically hit the East Coast. And so Connecticut, like to Maryland, I went all the way down to Savannah, Georgia, where I got in like a knife fight 'cause some dude parallel parked into my bike and like pushed. No. Yeah, it's a nice little nick there. And then from there I went to like Memphis, Tennessee, then Arkansas, Texas. I horseshoed, and then California, did the whole coast of California. I came back through the center of the country, which wasn't as exciting as the trip out. Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome. I ended the last place I went was Bethel, New York, where they had the Woodstock concert in 1969. Yeah. So it was cool to see that, and then we got home.
What was the total duration of your trip?
It was a little over 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah. Wow. And I knew enough people randomly throughout the country to stay with or to camp out. Like I would hit up Facebook and just people, hey, I'm gonna be in Colorado. Does anybody know anyone in Denver? I stayed with this girl in Cloudcroft, New Mexico, who worked for the Forestry Service. Everything she owned was in her car, and she lived like in a tent out in the woods doing spotted owl research.
Oh, sick.
And she would bring like
Who was that?
This girl.
Yeah. Sorry. By the way, I'm gonna go jump off a bridge after that joke. We'll edit that out.
She would throw mice out into the woods or the forest and like make these owl noises, and then they would like come out of the blue and like swoop them up. It was wild. It was crazy. Oh, it's like mountain lions out there and stuff, and yeah.
That's sick. So 3 months, you're basically living really out of a tent or off couches or wherever you can find a place to sort of lay your head down. Did you ever have any times where you didn't have like a viable place to camp, or you didn't know somebody where you were just like, I got to either keep pushing through and driving or figure something out,
Yeah. There was one time in Alabama, I didn't even know where I was. It was just getting dark, and I was in the middle of nowhere, and I randomly came up upon a church, and I was like, this is probably a safe spot to put my tent. So I just put my tent like, right next to the church. Yeah. Then in Colorado, I got stuck on the highway in hail. I thought I was gonna die, so I had to just like pull off the first exit I could find.
Yeah.
So I stayed in that town. Yeah, there was a couple times where that happened. Yeah.
Wow. Dude, that's an amazing story. Do you want to play another song?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Sorry, it's a great story. I'm just like trying to figure out good points to like cut it, because I'm like you're doing all right when I either really want to listen to your story or really want to listen to your next song, and I'm like, I don't know which one's better, but they're both really good.
Yeah. This one's fairly new. It's called Lady Tattoo. I did like a music video for it with this beautiful girl that I know. I found like driving around, so I'm a big like people watcher, so I'll go to like, when I play shows, I'll go to like cafes, or I'll sit somewhere just to watch people. I find it interesting. And like driving around, I've like interacted with people where like I didn't know them, but we passed and we had like a little bit of an interaction. And I've always felt like the less you know about someone, sometimes like the more interesting they are. Like because you have your own your imagination runs wild, and you get these opinions of, all right, who might this person be? So there was this girl in Boston I had a couple like music interactions with, I don't know her. She doesn't know me, but I wrote this song about her. She doesn't even know she has a song out there. So you never know. There might be a song out there about you.
Tattoo lady.
Exactly.
Ladies gonna be hearing this and they're gonna be checking their arms out. They're like, oh, it's about me.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely about me. I know that, dude.
So yeah, this is a song for the girl in Boston. Yeah. She's eclectic and bohemian, but she never lets the world take away her style. Mustard-colored sunglasses hide circumstantial evidence of a smile. And who would she be without her nightcap gin in her hand? And who would she be without her eyelids closed and pinned? Lady tattoo, painting the walls of her soul and her mind. Fashion forward icon with a freaky imagination. She's Boston City born, but in all actuality, yeah, she's hiding from the town that she's from. Midnight drives, yeah, to upstate Vermont, clear her mind. Crystal glimmer lakes of deep blue, lit up by fireflies, flowing feather boas draped around her neck, her weapon of choice, yeah, for going out and getting what she wants to get. Lady tattoo, painting the walls of her soul and her mind. Fashion forward icon with a freaky imagination. To the system, she's Boston City born, but in all actuality, yeah, she's hiding from the town that she's from. Let them guess about your dreams underneath your disco balls. City lofts and fire escapes and dance parties of one. That's all you need, that's all. Dressed in your best casual accoutrement, you radiate your colors and you show the world what it wants. Lady tattoo, painting the walls of her soul and her mind.
Yeah, dude, another banger.
Yeah, man.
So some lady doesn't even know there's a dope. Well, she might eventually know it, but like, that was a dope song.
Yeah, thank you.
When you sort of transitioned from punk to folk,
Yeah.
did you have it like dead set in your mind? Was it like a gradual thing, or like did you just sort of one day say like I'm jumping ship?
Yeah, it was a jump ship because when I was driving around during COVID doing all that exploring, like folk Americana kept coming on the radio, old and new songs. And I was like, I just like, at my point in life, I was like, I just really jive with this, really vibe with it. And it just like really spoke to me. The storytelling, the melodies and the lyrics and whatnot. And I was like, yeah, let me see if I can write a folk song. Yeah. I didn't even know you needed more than one harmonica. I never played harmonica before, I was
You
like,
didn't know that? Come on, man.
yeah, I know, right? I thought there was just...
Even I knew that.
I guess you need one for every key, in case you're wondering, yeah.
Did you do vocals in your punk band as well, or did you just play?
Yeah, no, I played guitar and vocals. There was bass and drums, and yeah, that was the goal after high school, like become rich and famous in the punk rock band, and we were going at it, but the band broke up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a little far. We played like regionally and stuff, but
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Did you ever get to play with any other bands that you ever, or meet even, like any bands that you looked up to in punk growing up?
Not in punk. Our biggest claim to fame back then was we opened up for the Dizzy Reed, the keyboardist for Guns N' Roses.
Oh, cool.
For his band at like 1,000 capacity little venue in Connecticut. So that was really cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, legends. I was just me going to a show. I saw Slash with Miles Kennedy at, I think, the House of Blues or something like that a long time ago. That was like a really good show.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I used to really dig Guns N' Roses a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. So, and I don't want to this isn't a show about digging up dirt and trying to figure out why your band broke up. I'm not doing that kind of show with you. But
no.
Was it like a big blow up, or did you guys just sort of mutually part ways?
No, it just kind of like happened slowly. One of the guys, went off to college at one point, so we had to get another bassist. Then the drummer left. We had to get another drummer. It was just kind of like everyone wasn't as committed as I was, or didn't want to take it as far as I wanted to take it. So it just kind of fizzled out. Yeah.
And that's really probably one of the best parts about being a folk music player. A lot of it does come through. Not that there aren't folk bands, but when I think of folk music, I think of, a Bob Dylan or something, where it's like that one person, that's who you focus on.
Singer-songwriter, yeah. Yeah, and that's the other reason I got into it. I was like, you know what, there's no one around. I have no friends. There's no one. There's no one around to be in a band.
It's a lonely genre.
Yeah, I can't depend on anyone to be in a band.
Yeah.
I was like, I could depend on myself to play the guitar. I was like, so let me just go out. I'll do this on my own. Yeah.
Did it feel like a natural switch to you? And
it did, because at that and the more you listen to my stuff, I think the more you could hear the punk in it, because there's a punk vibe, there's a punk sway to it,
Yeah.
I mean, I play acoustic guitar really hard, and when I record with people, it always gets on their nerves because I just beat the crap out of it, and I don't play like James Taylor, like light or something. Yeah, but it was just a natural thing. Yeah.
How far in your journey did it come to you? I know you were listening to a lot of stuff on the radio, but was it an aha moment for you, or was it sort of just it kept wearing you down? Not in a bad way wearing you down, but...
No, it was an aha moment because when I was into punk rock, and I have a diverse musical background. I mean, I love Jimi Hendrix, the Beatles, Beach Boys, old stuff, hip hop, rap. Punk rock was my thing. I was really never into country and never ever into folk. I just did not. I hated it. I didn't like it. And I don't know what happened. I can't really explain it. Just driving around. I daydream a lot and I space out a lot. Probably not great when you're driving. But it kept coming on and it kept fueling my mind with ideas. And I wrote 2 albums in 2 years. The first album I wrote in like a month, you know. Yeah, it just popped out. Actually, I've written both albums and like, you know, it only took like a month to write each album. I have a third album good to go. I just need to like get in the studio and record it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your first two albums, are they available on any like common platforms?
Yeah, the first album is called From One Place to the Next, and the most recent album is called A New Poet in Town. And you can get them, they're up on all platforms, whatever you like to use. Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, anything and everything, it's up there. Yeah.
Nice.
You just look up Charlie Diamond, yeah, you can be able to find them. Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah, and I don't know what it is about hearing, like you talk about like how you weren't into country or you weren't into folk. I also at times, like, I didn't grow up, I wasn't a country guy or a folk guy really.
Yeah.
But later in life, like I've been into some country music lately. I saw recently not the Grateful Dead, but the Dead Company.
Oh, cool.
I found with my buddy. I never really listened to the Grateful Dead much at all.
Was John Mayer playing with
Yeah,
you?
John Mayer
cool.
played, yeah.
Yeah.
And I came out of that concert being like, oh man, this is really cool. And I started listening to them more. And then on Spotify, I got a bunch of recommendations for like some folk, but also some country. And now I've been listening to it kind of a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm super pumped about it because even though I guess I would say I like hated it before or whatever, but now I have all this new music that I never really listened to that it's coming in. And I get not to talk about regret again, not that I like regretted not listening to country, but it's kind of cool. It's almost like when I met my wife, she'd never seen Sopranos and I made her watch it for the first time and she was really into it. And I feel like that happened to me. It was like someone just let me watch The Sopranos again from season 1 after never seeing it. It's like, I was like, this music's really good.
Yeah, I mean, you being a comedian, like I feel like art and creativity is like a big thing in our life. So just finding anything new in any realm, you know, is cool and it's exciting. Like I love surrounding myself with people that are in a certain field and like trying to like strive towards something themselves, like a comedian who wants to play shows, or I have a friend who just graduated film school and wants to be a director.
Cool.
You know, photography for free friends, like writers and poets. Like I like surrounding myself with those people. It's just cool to see them go after their dreams. And, yeah.
I would love to be better at taking pictures. I feel like photography should be easy, but it's incredibly hard at times. And people don't realize how hard it is to take a good picture. And not even how hard it is, but also the utility of it. When you have a good picture now, especially, you know, for music or comedy, like creative things, we're pushing most of those stuff on social media platforms.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it is about being seen. Like, you know, if you want to advance, you have to be seen. That's just sort of the nature of the beast. And having a good picture or a good reel or a good video clip, anything like that, those things matter so much. And I feel like a good photographer has so much utility to them. And I wish I should take a photography class. I want to get better at it, just for myself. But
I have a friend I met randomly out and about because I just like to, like I said, I just talk with people.
Yeah.
And he's a professional photographer. He like works for like the NBA. But
nice.
I just played a show at the Mercury Lounge in New York City, and he came out to it and he took pictures on like 35 millimeter film.
Yeah.
And he like sent me like all the pictures, and I was like, oh, these are like so cool. Yeah.
A cool, that. You know, I think in college maybe I took a photography class because I remember going to the room where you have to, you know, the dark room, whatever.
Yes,
you go in the tube and you spin around. I think I went to one class, but it was a 7:30 a.m. class.
Oh.
Didn't make it to the rest of them, and I never got to. I got to go in the dark room one day, but it was when the lights were on and they were telling us like what not to touch.
Yeah.
And I never actually made it to taking the pictures and like go into the actual dark room. Regret again, but
I feel like it's almost a lost art nowadays.
Yeah.
Right? Like with all the chemicals and stuff. Like I feel like I don't know a lot of people that do actual film.
Yeah, they're usually serial killers or
yeah.
something like that.
It's like these are the same chemicals that dispose bodies and like also develop film. Like,
highly flammable.
yeah.
Oh man. Ah, that's so cool. There is something about being surrounded by other people that are creative, and not that I'm like, I think of myself as like, oh, this like crazy creative person, but when you're around like-minded people that want to entertain other people and that want to make interactions enjoyable, whether it's through music or comedy or whatever it is, you do get a little boost. And I feel that for sure, where it just makes me, like if I hang out with somebody and like it's a cool vibe and we're like cracking jokes or like I'm listening to music or something like that, I do think there's a substantial increase in my likelihood to like go home and write jokes for whatever weird reason it is,
Yeah.
Do you find that when you're around people that are playing music or taking photos or maybe trying to get a film off the ground or something like that, do you find inspiration from that when it comes to your music?
I don't know. I don't know that I do. I think it definitely helps fill other creative voids in me. Like I'm no photographer, but or director, but it's fun to like film stuff. So like that. I think it gets the creative juices going, like you said. Yeah. I don't know that I've actually taken any inspiration from like the projects that my friends have done. Yeah. I'm a really weird loner, Edgar Allan Poe kind of a guy. Yeah, so a lot of stuff I write about is kind of personal, but like a lot of people could relate to, or I guess interactions I've had on the road and stuff. I don't know. Yeah.
Cool, man.
I guess the short answer is no. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. When you're in that state, when you're feeling alone or feeling that you're gonna find a way to, write that song or like whatever's like getting ready to sort of pour out of you and you're alone, how often, or not how often, but how much or how important is it for you to like shut everybody else out? Or do you even do that? I shouldn't assume that you do it, but like if I'm gonna like write a joke or like something comes to my head, I can't be around anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. Phones off. Like I can't do two things at once in that sense. Do you feel a similar thing when you're sort of like writing your music?
Yeah. Because like I said, I write late at night, just by myself. Yeah. It's even tough for me to sit down and collaborate and write a song with someone. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like completely alone, and preferably it's dark out, quiet. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool. Do you ever see yourself getting back in like a band or?
So I would, excuse me, I would love my live show to be half just me, and then maybe the second half a full band. I have this vision of where like I want to take folk, and it's gonna be a sort of, I want it to be like a David Bowie-esque glam rock live show, with still the roots of folk, but like almost hip-hop percussion and synthesizers and stuff, but still like the roots of folk music. I have this really big vision where I want to take it. It's just I gotta extrapolate it, or whatever you call it, out of my mind and try and make it happen in the studio.
Yeah. That's cool. What's your favorite Bowie song?
What's the not Mars? What's it? Mars? Ziggy Stardust. I'm obsessed with, but another. It's not Life on Mars. There's
Life on
another
Mars
one.
is a Bowie song, yeah.
Yeah. No, there's one where he's like, I'm an alligator. Dun, dun, dun. I'm a mama, papa coming for you. I'm a space invader.
I can't think of it.
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to the Life Aquatic soundtrack?
No.
Are you familiar with the movie?
Yeah,
at all?
yeah.
The entire soundtrack and the music in the movie, it's all David Bowie cover songs.
Oh, cool.
And so the whole soundtrack is, I think there's one song made for the movie that's not a Bowie song, but I went through a period of time where I got, you get like stuck on an album, just like, that's all you listen to.
Yeah.
I got stuck on this album for like the longest time. I can't even pronounce the dude's name that wrote it, but it's the Life Aquatic soundtrack. If you like Bowie, like, check it out. It's really cool.
Nice.
It's just like, folky, acoustic.
Oh, cool.
The dude that does the songs, I'm pretty sure is Brazilian, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll look into it.
It's going to kill me not remember his name. But yeah, it's cool. You should check it out. They cover Life on Mars, Ziggy Stardust. They cover a bunch of stuff. Like, classics, stuff like that.
It's funny cool. Where I get where like I hear my new music. You know what I mean? A lot of times I'll discover new music in movies or TV shows.
Yeah.
That's like probably my main thing. Like I don't listen to Spotify. I don't listen to the radio. I don't know. I used to know lots of cover songs, but then I was like, you know what? Like if you're gonna be a singer-songwriter, do your thing. Like play your own songs. So it's like I've forgotten a lot of the cover songs I used to know, but I used to know so many backlog of Bowie. That's why it's killing me that I can't even think of the name of the song I'm thinking of right now. But yeah,
I was never really into him until, what was that other song that came out? I think it was like I'm Afraid of Americans. That's at least the hook in the song. I don't know if it's the name of the song, but I remember when that music video came out, I was really digging the song. And then I started to like go back and listen to it a little bit. And then also in the beginning of the movie, The Breakfast Club, there's that quote by David Bowie.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's a quote from Change. Is it Change or Changes?
It's got to be Changes.
Yeah, Changes. Something about in these kids which you spit upon.
Yeah.
That line.
Yeah.
And then the glass breaks and then it goes into The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
I remember that. And I remember being like, oh, who's David Bowie? I never really knew. And then that song came out. And then I went back. I looked at that quote. Then I was listening to that song. And then I was like, oh, really into Bowie for like a year or whatever.
He's forever tarnished. Like, I always want to do like a cool face paint thing. But ever since he did the lightning bolt, it's like, how do you up?
You can't
really up a lightning bolt. Like
the color pattern on it, too, is really cool.
I know. Yeah.
Have you ever thought of doing like, when you were in Pokemon, like a mask or a face paint or anything like that? Yeah, definitely. Did you like Kiss? Were you a Kiss fan growing up?
I like some of their stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. My nephew plays guitar. He just turned 13. He's super into like 80s metal and hair bands and stuff like that. It's his like big thing.
Yeah.
He likes really like fast, guitar and stuff like that. And he's just like so into Kiss, which is weird. I'm like, he's 13. Yeah, like how long's Kiss been around for? I'm like, it's so weird that that's his favorite band, but he loves them, man.
Yeah,
absolutely loves them.
Yeah, Kiss
won't
is
stop
awesome.
talking about them. I'm like, yeah, dude, I've heard of them before. I'm 40. Like I know who Kiss is.
Yeah.
Like you're not telling me some new thing. He's like,
I always think to myself, that must have been such a pain to put that makeup on at every show.
Yeah.
Like before they were big, you know what I mean? Like just to do that, like, but got to commit to the art, definitely.
What do you think is worse though, doing that, painting your face like that, or if you're someone like Slipknot or Mushroom Head, where you have to wear the full mask for the full show? And it's probably less setup time.
Yeah.
But it's got to be more of a pain having like a mask on versus face paint.
Yeah. It probably gets weird and hot and sticky under the mask. Yeah.
Oh man,
it's good though because I saw a lot of good people go up that get lost in the fray because they just blend in with the next person.
Yeah,
you gotta stand out somehow. Yeah.
I struggle with that with comedy all the time. Like I feel confident in a joke or like I think something should be working better than it's not, and I'm half the time wondering, I'm just like, is it just because I'm not as like distinct? I'm not like putting enough personality into it versus it being like trying to be clever or whatever. I'm like, maybe I just need to put more of myself into it versus, just like the
I see what you're saying.
line,
Yeah.
You know?
Tailor the act around you as opposed to coming up with like a scripted type of an act. Yeah.
Like make people want to see me versus just like hear a joke.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, who was better than that than Kiss? Kiss just nailed it.
Yeah.
But even like Slipknot too, like I always think, I mean, I was also into a lot of like, like new metal and stuff like that growing up. That was sort of my era.
Mm-hmm.
And like I something about Slipknot to me, like they were awesome. They were so good live. Like, something about the mask. I was like, I wish I could figure out a way to do comedy in like a weird mask.
You should. I don't think I've ever seen any comedians like
just go up and like
with
a Slipknot mask.
You know?
All right. Yeah. That's actually okay. Maybe that'll be like my one lesson I learned from this show. Like I can try going up in a mask.
A year from now, you blow up. I see you on Jimmy Fallon.
Dude,
I told that guy to wear that mask.
Dude, I'll try man. That'd be sick. Do you want to do another song?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
This one's called Electric Lady Dreams. And this is about, like if I could ever write a song about myself, this would be the one, like my little anthem. Cool. It's kind of a little bit about, my trip around the country. And then it's just kind of like a little bit about just trust your gut, follow your heart, take the risk and just go after your dreams. Just do it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I always dedicate this one to all the misfits and the poets, and everybody that's kind of lost in life like me. Because I feel very lost in life, and music has been my way in my journey to try and, figure out this whole crazy world.
Wow.
Yeah. With $20 in my pocket, I left the city for my dreams. With my favorite David Bowie t-shirt and faded pair of jeans, I took a left down Flower Street and closed my eyes and yelled to the people of the city. This says farewell and then hello to my electric lady dreams. Pulling into a filling station just south of Omaha. Ain't got no more money, nothing to eat, nothing at all. Well, I saw a gypsy kind of girl, with a bandana in her hair. She said, I'm coming with you, sweet eyes, where you're gonna lie, just don't care. So we lace up our boots and we tuck in our pants and we give a rebel scream into the wild. Oh, so she held on tight as I let the throttle loose within my hands. We both said goodbye to another town and another faded scene. Pointed our hearts due north into our electric lady dreams. Yeah, our electric lady dreams. seen say Colorado is nice in the summer and the fall. That seasonal variance for you, for a place that I never been to at all. Well, she grabbed my hair and pinched my cheek and gave me a big old kiss. Then she whispered in my ear and set my world on fire with this. She said, live your life, dream your dreams, nothing will hold you back, not even me. Oh, so I pulled her close and said, my wild girl, my free spirit, you've been my lucky charm all along. Look up at the stars tonight, yeah, help me sing this song. I said, grab your heart and take a leap and tell me the most recent thing you've seen. She said, your beautiful eyes, my love, my electric lady dream. Yeah, you're my electric lady dream.
Yeah. Electric Lady Dream, man. That was dope.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
That's my favorite song I've ever written.
Yeah. Is that on your first album?
It's on the second album.
Second album?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I mean, your music and like folk music in general, it is almost like you're reading a book. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just got so much behind it, and it's just cool to listen to.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You know, it's more than just like putting, something on in the background and like listen to it. Like you just want to hear what like when you're doing every song you've done, I'm like, I want to know more about that song. like it's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. That one took a little minute to write.
Yeah.
That one didn't just like come to me. Yeah. Probably took a week.
What do you think was hanging you up with writing it?
I don't know. It was just it's funny because I feel like it's one of the best songs I've ever written and my favorite song. And usually those ones just flow out of you in 5 or 10 minutes, easy breezy. But I don't know. Probably because it's like a projection of, like a very personal projection of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted it to be like right. Yeah. Like if I was a song, that would be it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Dude, you guys got to check out that song, Electric Lady Dream.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Electric Lady Dreams.
Electric Lady Dreams. Damn, that was dope.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That was awesome, dude. You're such a great musician, man. This is so cool.
Thank you.
Like I said, it's so weird. Usually when I do the performer show, it's been with other comics, and they usually do like Aaron will take their like a 5-minute video or 7-minute video and either play it before or after the show or like tag it on in the video. So I don't ever get to hear somebody like perform. It's most of the comedians have been people I know from around here.
Oh,
so
cool.
I know some of their stuff, but I never get to hear them in studio do it. And then we talk about it. It's usually like something that gets put in post or after.
Yeah.
So this has honestly been like probably the best performing I've done because it's so cool to like get to actually hear the music and your story and what you've been gracious enough to like tell us and
Yeah.
like all in the moment. I'm like, this is cool. Yeah. I'm like, oh, Aaron, get me on more musician performers on performing. This is dope.
Yeah.
So
you.
Charlie Diamond, is it Charlie Diamond do you have Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that? People could check you out?
Yeah, you can go to charliediamondmusic.net for the website.
Okay.
And that's got all the news, and you can get CDs on there and the shows. I'm most active on Instagram,
Cool.
which is charlie.diamond.music.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Charlie.diamond.music. I'm definitely hitting you up. I'll get all the information before
Yeah.
before
We
we
gotta
take off
exchange.
anyway.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
dude, this has been amazing. I'm so glad that you came in. I'm glad that I happened to be walking through the studio today and like this just randomly happened.
Yeah.
This is really dope, but much appreciated. Guys, check out Charlie Diamond. Check out his Instagram page, Charlie Diamond. Was it music.net, you said?
Yes, charliediamondmusic.net.
Music.net. Check him out. His songs are dope. You can go to Spotify, wherever you get your music. You don't need to tell me. Oh, you don't need me to tell you where you get your music, but you're going to find this dude. You're going to be hearing a lot about him because he's the man. But thank you for coming in.
Yes, thank you.
Guys, this has been Performers on Performing. I'm your guest host, again, Freddie Scibelli. We got Charlie Diamond, straight up from Melcat. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.